Buddha used to compare the mind to a wild elephant. Psychologists compare the mind to a program that's running on a computer, to the idea that people are smart agents who set goals and pursue them intelligently by using the information and resources available. But then, why do people keep doing such stupid things? Why do they fail to control themselves and continue to do what they know is not good for them? I, for example, have all the willpower in the world to say and order my dairy-free, no-sugar ice cream. But if I see my girl's cheesecake and vanilla with strawberry cold stone ice cream sitting right there in front of me where I can vividly see it, I can't help but get one scoop. Or even back then when I was trying to stop scrolling on my phone for hours upon hours and wasting my life away, I would know deep down I was doing something horribly wrong to myself, but my thumb couldn't help but just keep on scrolling and getting more stimulation. Or in even bigger life decisions, like what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to have financial freedom. I wanted to be rich, but my actions showed otherwise. I was accumulating wealth in the virtual world, GTA 5 to be specific, instead of real life. These are fights, wars that I had to go with myself to get what I wanted, but my body was controlling my mind. This quote describes how I felt. I am dragged along by a strange force. Desire and reason are pulling in different directions. I see the right way and approve it, but follow the wrong. I want to share with you an image from one of my mentors, Charlie Morgan. Charlie is a 25-year-old millionaire, and this is a screenshot from one of his paid lectures. There's the puppet, and there's the puppeter. There's the character, and there's the player. There's the soldier, and there's the general. There's the body, and there's the mind. Most people are slaves to their body. The body wants something, the mind gives it. Body doesn't want to work, mind turns a blind eye. Body wants to binge Netflix for a day, mind complies. Body feels nervous, mind lets off. Now here's what we want. There's the puppet and there's the puppeter. There's a character and there's a player, there's a soldier and there's a general. There's the body and there's the mind. Really successful people do not let their body run them. They pull the strings, they move the joysticks, and they send the soldier into battle. Their minds set the action and their body complies. If the mind is running the show, you will win. Mind wants body to work out, body goes to gym. Mind demands a 12-hour workday, body gets it done. My goal is simple, to give you an in-depth understanding of our psychological behavior and why we do the things we do so that you can fast-track your way into catching these mental patterns that may be holding you back from your true potential. Change your thought patterns and you will change your life. Basically, to get your life less red and more green. If you're wondering who I am, my name is Valenta and I have had an obsession on the science of habit formation, psychology, and human nature. I will simplify everything I have learned in a very practical way so that you can apply this without using any fancy words. So the metaphor that I will use to guide us for the rest of the video is this. I want you to vividly and imagine this scene in your head, okay? So use your imagination when I say this. As if you are the rider on the back of an elephant. You are holding the reins in your hands, and by pulling one way or the other, you can tell the elephant to turn, stop, or to go. You are in control of things, but when the elephant wants to do something, you are no match for him. Before I begin sharing any practical advice, here's a list of 4 divisions in our heads that fight each other. The 4th one being the most important as it correlates heaviest to the rider and the elephant. The first division is mind versus body. We went over that in the puppet picture, but these are stories that you have heard of older guys or other guys, bro, even our age, because if I'm honest, this has happened to me too, and I don't even wish this upon my worst enemy, is being let down by their penis, or when our facial expressions betray our secret thoughts. Whenever you tried lying to an adult as a kid, your hair stood up, your heart raced, your tongues failed to speak independent of what your mind would wish. The second division is very simple. Basically that our brains divide its processing of the world into 2 parts, left and right. If you're mostly like analytical, logical, and like good at solving math problems, it's likely that you are left-brained. Basically that you take in more information through the left side of your head. And if you are more creative, more intuitive, more like based on your feelings and emotions, creative, artistic, you are right-brained. Obviously, if you heard that I said more things on the right side, it's because I am myself, I'm right brain as I am a creator. So think of the writer as the left side. He's good at solving math problems, good at making up bullshit, just really intelligent. and the right side as the elephant, basically your emotions, gut feelings, intuition, all of that good stuff. Now, here's the funny part. Has anybody ever asked you, hey, what are you thinking about? Or, hey, what are you doing? And instantly on the fly, you just invent some bullshit like fast. You just invent something like really quick and just tell them like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. I'm here busy like doing work. But you were thinking about some random memory in high school. That right there, that exact scene or that exact like moment, if you imagine it in your head, like if it has ever happened to you and replay it in your head, like, oh yeah, I'm just here mind wandering and someone walks in on me and tells me, hey, what are you doing? That's basically the writer explaining, inventing bullshit on trying to hide what the elephant is really thinking about. Okay, so hold on here. So the elephant again is your emotions, gut feelings, and intuition, and it thinks of dark, dark stuff, like things that like the weird stuff that really goes on in your head. This is the elephant completely thinking about it, but the writer is here protecting it like a lawyer, saying, "Oh no, no, like we're we're good people and we are like here doing work, you know." And you'll catch these patterns upon your head, like it's really hard to be authentic these days because of this, because we try to like portray an image upon other people. But yeah, that's just that was way off topic, so let's go back to the third division. So the third division is new versus old. There's a part of your brain that has developed and that still feels new to all of us. It is called the neocortex. The best way to remember this is how the neo equals new, or how neo, like it literally means new. This is the left side that I was just talking to you about. But though we feel like we're intelligent and we're smart, we are actually creatures of emotion. And if there's anything that I want you to take anything that I want you to take like from this video, is that humans are emotional creatures. Take this quote from like the greatest self-improver like of all time, Dale Carnegie. When dealing with people, let us remember that we are not dealing with creatures of logic. We are dealing with creatures of emotion. Creatures bristling and I don't even know how to say that word, bro. Prejudices and motivated by pride and vanity, from the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. Back to the neocortex before I begin giving you a like lecture on sales. Logic and emotion must both work together to create intelligent behavior. But emotion, a big part of the elephant, as I was telling you, does most of the work. So basically the neocortex, or this new side of your brain, it made the writer possible to exist, but it made the elephant like 10 times as smarter. So even though like I said in the beginning, psychologists said that we were like some intelligent, like super creative people like that can just invent things, and you know we are, but we are heavily influenced by our emotions more than ever. And you could take this, like if you really analyze the patterns in your life, 9 times out of 10 you usually like do stuff based on your emotions, and that's okay because we know and we're educating ourselves here, so we can fix that. The ones who understand this perfectly are emotionally intelligent. This is where it comes from, the term. The ability to manage both your emotions and understand the emotions of other people around you. Now, the final and fourth division, the most important division of all, like, and this is probably the most important part of this whole division video or whatever you want to call it. Controlled processing is limited. We can think consciously about one thing at a time only, but automatic processes can handle many tasks at once. So the controlled part, which is again the left side, is the writer. It can control everything. It solves math problems. It can invent bullshit on the fly. But your automatic processes is those emotions. Those are just those emotions that are running 24/7. Basically thoughts that just come in, fly in, negative, positive, egotistical, dark, sexual thoughts. The elephant just like fucking devours them. The rider is better seen as an advisor. It's a rider placed in the elephant's back to help the elephant make better choices. It can see farther into the future, and it can learn valuable information by talking to other riders or by reading maps, aka books. But the rider cannot order the elephant around against its will. It's just too damn big. Both have their unique skills instead of intelligence. When these two work together, it brings out the unique brilliance of human potential. But again, they don't always get along. And for most people, 99%, like these two like are constantly fighting and have been conditioned to just fight and not get along. Those 1% that are able to understand this have extreme high levels of emotional intelligence and are able to control more of their behavior and do the things they do so that they can get what they want. So now, before I even again continue on and giving you any solutions, we first must understand how the fuck this goes on in our daily lives. And the most common one is failures of self-control. Most people want things now. We've been conditioned by this through technology and social media to just want things fast and quick. So once you fully are able to understand this, basically what all of this means is impulse control or delayed gratification. If you're able to distract your brain, your mind, your elephant so well, you can basically get it to do what you want. Yes, I can have the ice cream right there in front of me. I can fully have it as a story that I was telling you in the beginning. But if I just start spitting in information in my brain, you know what, the ice cream's bad, the ice cream's gonna make me break out, the ice cream has a lot of sugar, it's bad for me, I can actually start controlling a little bit more of my life and kind of just get this this pleasure and I don't want the ice cream anymore. This trait of having impulse control is probably one of the best traits that you can have as a human being ever. If anything, this is probably the most important trait of successful people, the ability to just stick through the same path and say no to everything else. Because the word no is one of those words that your life will thank you for down the line. Anybody that has, again, any level of success just says no to shit. You don't go no to parties, no to alcohol, no to the girls, no to the whatever's in life. You learn how to say no, and the world will just start telling you yes. The other one is how we have voices inside of our heads. For example, I've been in rooftops, balconies, or anything that's high up in the sky, and I've had voices literally telling me, jump, jump, jump. And that make you think of me this is some crazy suicidal guy, but I can almost willingly bet that if you go and stand on top of something, you're gonna get this thought and this image of you just jumping and seeing what would happen if all of a sudden you just start flying like Batman or swinging like Spider-Man or something. But again, these are thoughts because we get 1,000 thoughts every single day and thousands of images, dark, negative, whatever they may be, good, bad, however. But we don't associate with these. You shouldn't associate with these. You're not your thoughts. That's a fundamental truth of spirituality. You are not your thoughts. And a big mistake that I see people make is they associate the thoughts that they have in their head to who they are. So imagine if I started thinking I'm saying jump, jump, my thoughts are saying jump, jump. Does that mean I'm some suicidal, sad, complaining about the world, doesn't want to be here anymore type of guy? No. It's just, again, that's the elephant doing what it's doing. It's just giving in thoughts and thoughts. But I am not those thoughts. You can judge me in here and say oh yeah, this guy's some crazy guy trying to jump off the roof. But no, these are just thoughts that occur, and we can learn this through being more consciously aware and catching these patterns, which I will show you at the end of this video. But it's, again, these patterns that occur that just hold us back sometimes and don't let us progress in this world. So a skill worthy of developing is being able to know the different voices that come in your head, and this comes from awareness. David Goggins, for example, has mastered this. He calls one of those voices the inner bitch, which I myself have caught up many times with myself too. The voice that tells me you aren't good enough, don't record today, just slouch back with your girl. But again, I don't associate myself with those voices. Finally, how to change your mind or how to actually program it. And you may actually say, you told me all this just to tell me these simple 2 solutions, but I'm gonna try to explain it to you in a way that you are able to understand it on why you should do this. And especially because you just educated yourself completely on how our human behavior works, our minds work, and a psychological explanation. But the thing is, I don't want to be like any other self-improvement YouTuber that will just yell at you and scream at you how horrible your life is and how you should meditate and how you should journal. But those are the 2 solutions, meditation and journaling. But before you even go on and say, oh my God, leave, hold on, okay? So what meditation basically does to change your automatic thought process, or taming the elephant, You tame it by breaking the attachment to things in life that make us suffer or bring us lots of joy. Although you give up pleasures, you also give up larger pains of losing. Meditation can be difficult at first, but through trial and error, it teaches a writer lessons of humility and patience. I'll let you try it out for yourself first before it's a good trade off. As a leader, as an educator, and as a synthesizer, my job is here to educate you and tell you what I think is best for you. And what I think is best for you is to you actually go on and try it for yourself. Actually sit down and try to meditate for just 7 days. Like, actually try it. Don't just close your eyes and then give up, because like, of course it's hard, but if it was easy, everybody would do it. And as you begin doing it, you have seen on the internet and online how much benefit it brings you. It brings you these benefits because it increases your happiness. It reduces the anxious, negative thoughts that the elephant like just automatically produces. You begin to like just literally change neurons of your head by simply relaxing, calming down, and just being like this stoic. You almost have this aura around you of just almost not needing anything. You just kind of are who you are. You're present where you are now. And you're able to experience life more. And isn't that what we want? Like, isn't that what we came to live in this world? I think the whole purpose of life is to enjoy it, to actually enjoy both the suffering and the like good moments that life brings us. I feel like we should fully be present in those moments, because one lesson I can tell you, if I can just bring it down to you, is how it can be horrible at times when people around you are celebrating, but you're just there standing still and not present because you're focused on something else. You're focused on perhaps your own self-improvement, or you're focused on just random things that really don't make sense when by the time you're 80 years old, you're really not going to give a fuck about them. So, like, be present, be mindful, pay attention to the beautiful things, because there's a world around, like, all over around that you probably have never experienced. And I myself haven't experienced, being that I'm 21 years old. I'm just saying here and trying to teach you my lessons and advise you what I think is best for you. Now, the second thing is journaling, cognitive therapy in psychological terms. But you see, meditation is a very Eastern way of living life. It's an Eastern solution. But in the more Western world, being that I'm from California, being that I'm Hispanic and specifically Mexican, we have always had the tendency to just pick up the toolbox and fix what is broken. And I feel like that is the right approach to do, like, off the environment that I am from. But if you add both of these two together, it makes you a multi-dimensional guy. Like, you just are more powerful when you're just calm, stoic, versus like being all jittery and like being mad at the world and pissed off. So if you apply both of these techniques of journaling and meditation, I feel like it's way more powerful, and you can do both of these approaches at the same time. It's not like it costs you so much money to do. It's literally free. You can do this sitting down in your desk, sitting down in your sofa, sitting down in the floor, and just taking deep breaths and going within, because more people would meditate if they actually felt the real benefits. So you have to give yourself the chance and kind of say, okay, like, let me actually try this. And then now when it comes to journaling and journaling, just don't complicate it. Literally open up a blank document. It doesn't mean you have to pick up a pen and write it down on paper. Do what suits you best. You can there's forms of journaling of you just literally talking on camera. And why, you may be asking, why the fuck do I need to journal? It's because it helps you catch these thoughts that go on, and you begin to explain like a story to them. So for example, let me share with you this quote. Whatever hurts is caused by events in your childhood. And the only way to change yourself is to dig through those repressed memories and come up with a diagnosis and work through them through your unresolved conflicts. Aaron Beck, who's basically a psychologist, that said that basically anything, 9 times out of 10, I can willingly bet too, that 9 times out of 10, the stuff that hurts you, the stuff when you fail at something, when you just fall, or when you're just like fucking up, it's usually the same emotion that you felt when you were a child. And I can attest this myself from my own personal experiences of like the fear of not being good enough, the fear of being called, like, just when I was smaller, like dark skinned, or when I would, I'm an only child, so being left alone or something. Like, these are real fears that I was able to like understand of myself once I was able to write down and tell myself a story about them. The whole point of this is to basically understand who you are. 9 out of 10 it is. So with that said, I say this: be a mad scientist about your life, because if you don't, you will live the rest of your life not really knowing who you are. People will assign you an identity that you hate. Oh yeah, because it isn't you. For example, like, have you ever realized how you start to act different or speak different or move different when you're around different types of people? So the same way you are right now when you're watching this video is completely different versus if I put your mother right in front of you or your father. Of course, this is much deeper than what I'm talking about, but it just shows how our brains have been conditioned to act compared to different people and how you may have actually been assigned an identity. And the way you do this is by writing down your actual thoughts and you really taking a look and being a mad scientist, as I said it, like fully trying to figure out who it is you are and what you represent. The elephant learns best from daily practice. A weekly meeting with a therapist or a coach is not enough. Choose 2 to 3 tasks you know you can commit to for a month, and you'll see how much more consistent you'll be versus choosing 15 tasks from those top 7 ways to be a 1% man videos. Change your thought patterns and you will change your life. So if you're interested in being in a community of like-minded people, I just created my free school community. So click the link below. It's also a better way that you can get closer to me. If you're interested in maximizing your habits, improving your life, doing all that good stuff, click the link below and I'll catch you there, boys.